At the hotel. Yay! Looks so old. So this is our room, but it's so small here. This is just where Dai is gonna sleep. And this is where we are going to sleep. It's a whole penthouse. I've never seen a huge room this big, and look at the bathtub. I'm just doing an inspection, Mom.
There you go.
I know, they have a microwave.
Laundry
They
in
got
the room.
laundry. Okay, we're about to go to bed and watching the Polar Express. And we'll wake up in the morning and go to Virginia, Williamsburg, Virginia. So we eat breakfast at Crackerville. Then we're gonna go to Williamsburg, the old part, where cars are not allowed. Only horse-drawn carriages. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get the food and the souvenirs there. Okay, we're here at Williamsburg, Virginia. And Kian, I think he's doing fine now. Oh, there he's crying. No, he's not crying.
I didn't notice if it was
I know like 99.9.
Okay, now we're getting into the old areas. A lot of these houses, I bet, are haunted since they've been around since the 1700s.
Heads up, John.
Are you having fun, baby?
Okay.
You
I don't know
having
if you're
fun?
gonna be mad at me since we just did the one transaction.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah?
putting John's in mine so it doesn't get.
I got a little bit more stuff on your stuff now. Oh, I forgot to mention, you are riding. I have not yet been able to ascertain if Benjamin Franklin ever came to Florence. It's a very nice building, one of my favorites. Oh, but wonderful. That graded building off to the side there in front of me, that is also original?
Wow.
Good day, my friends, and welcome. This is the Governor's Palace.
Is it true Benjamin Franklin stayed here for a while?
Oh, many people have come to stay with the governor. Yes, indeed. As you come in, you can wander the gardens. And this is the side where they take you in and the garden tour.
Hi. Okay, then we're done. Y'all be careful. Come on in. Watch your step.
Edinburgh is a recreation of the residential home of 7 British governors and 2 Commonwealth governors. And they moved the capital from Jamestown to here in 1699, and it had all the Capitol building because they didn't place to put the governor. When that was finished in 1705, they felt a proper residence should be built for the royal governor and his family. And what they intended to be, when it turned out to be 2 different things, it's more expensive than anything they originally planned. So the project was slow going. In addition to that, the House of Burgesses appropriated the funds and they were kind of stingy with the funds. When in 1710, this gentleman here, Alexander Spotswood, becomes governor, and he pushed the project along. But even then, he's not able to move in here until 1716, and the whole project was completed in 1722. And like I say, 7 British governors lived here, leading up to the American Revolution. The last governor bear the brunt of that revolution. He loses control of this colony and is forced to sneak out of this palace and fear his life. That led Virginia to form a new kind of government. They started a series of conventions. They will fire them, see how Virginia is going to deal with the crown. And they come up with a constitution, a declaration of rights, and they elect their first Commonwealth governor. The man who said, give me liberty or give me death. Patrick Henry, right?
Yep.
And there's a term limit in the Constitution. He only served 3 consecutive one-year terms. So he's replaced in 1779 by Thomas Jefferson. And in 1780, Jefferson moved the capital from here to Richmond, Virginia, where it's been ever since. Now later on, they're going to use the palace as a hospital for the Battle of Yorktown. But in December of 1781, an accidental fire will consume the palace. Fast forward now to 1906, a minister by the name of Dr. W.A.R. Goodwin becomes rector down here in Bruton Parish Church. He's the reason we're here today.
Stop there, please be careful.
Thank you so much.
Careful coming up the stairs. Good day. Most of the time I say good day, it's pouring down rain.
Wow.
Come on in, folks. Space yourself out in groups the way you were before. A little bit of social distancing here. And then gather around here for a minute. I'm going to give you information, and you can look around a little bit. Taking all the pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, the British aristocracy and everything about it. Look around. Look at the floor you're standing on. The white marble comes from England. The black's from Belgium. You will not find a floor like this anywhere else in Virginia at this time. Marble mantelpiece as well. All this speaks of the world of British aristocracy. Now look around. Besides the weapons, what signs of the crown authority do you see in this room?
Okay. This is one heck of a pantry.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Guess they kept beds here. This is a lot of guns. Whoa, look at that. This is a ball. Oh my God.
Yeah. You got a lot to get in. You can't get in one shot either.
Oh
All right, ladies over here and gentlemen over here. It's a pipe organ. There's only 4 like in the whole world, and we've got one of them. There's a pedal at the bottom there for the person to pump air into it. All those little doors open up and have this single manual. The paintings are also original to the time period. This is King Charles II, restored to the throne after Cromwell died. His wife and Queen Catherine, and over here, looking down on all his subjects, His Majesty King George III. Now it's interesting how a person's popularity can change so quickly around here. In January of 1775, Governor Dunmore being hailed as a hero because of his victory over the Shawnees. Now when Patrick Henry moves in here, all this elegance disappears. In fact, these 2 rooms will not be used at all. There'll be no celebration going on while the war was going on. Right? He had to bring his own servants as well. Don't forget, there were 57 slaves working this house, doing everything from the laundry to the cleaning and the scullery, and driving around, going around in his carriage. Anything needed to be done, he would do that. All right? There's a maze back there. There's a mount that comes in ice house, and the governor has his frozen drinks and ice cream in the summertime. There's a canal over here. It doesn't go anywhere, but if the governor wants a canal, the governor gets a canal. So feel free to roam around and anything. Does anybody have any questions before I let you go about anything? No? My pleasure to show you around here this afternoon. Thank you all for coming. Happy
you so
Thanksgiving to
much.
you all, and you'll have a good day.
This palace used to be a hospital, and those who died at the hospital were buried in the backyard, and their graves were discovered in 1936. The buried soldiers died in the Battle of Yorktown.
Hey, Grenade!
Ah,
Present!
Fire!
Good citizens of Williamsburg and welcome visitors. Indeed, it is my pleasure once again to stand before you and offer you some of the finest wares this fair city has to offer. Wares at an auction and at prices that no merchant would dare to try to compete. Excellent pheasant box. This beautiful Delft pheasant box is handsomely decorated on all sides and top in a handsome design meant to hold your most precious and valuable items in a manner of, well, honor and treasure. This indeed will go by your bedside quite nicely or to be displayed in your parlor. I only have one of these. It will be sold to the highest bidder, obviously, and our porcelain pheasant box, we're going to start this at a mere $15. $15. I have 15 at Madam, now 16. 16, careful, are you bidding? Twice at $18 at Madam, and third and final call. Sold, Madam, at $18. Well done.
Have you really selling stuff?
Our next item is our squafito dish.
So, I got a hat.
You want to get your picture bun?
Yeah. Okay, we're going inside the old courthouse. Enjoy visit. Thank you. Me too.
Welcome you all inside the courthouse.
Are there any witches from the witch trials? I heard there was one.
Witchcraft.
I heard there was one.
Not as a profession, I'm sure, just a hobby. We only have documentation really for one witch trial.
I knew it.
And it was done at a time when witchcraft was considered a felony. So that would actually be heard down the street in the general court. Any free person accused of felony would be tried in the high court in the Capitol building. This place for misdemeanors. By the time this building is constructed, witchcraft's been reduced to misdemeanor, and after 1786, witchcraft has been freedom of religion. Any other questions, folks? So before you go, you're welcome to explore the side rooms as well. We've got the county clerk's office here. We've got a jury deliberation room in that corner, and the magistrates got a meeting or conference room on the other side. So have a look around. Thank you.
One piece over and over again, it's going to get smaller and smaller, shorter.
The sole of the shoe is sewn on in kind of two parts. The first piece that the shoemaker puts down on the wooden form, the last that gives it the size and style of the insole. You can see one drawing in the back window there.
One of the interpreters will come out and give you an introduction.
Well, the first capital was not here. It was 9 miles to the south of Jamestown, and they settled there in the year 1607. And when they got there, they built a fort, and then they built a state house. The purpose of the state house was to conduct the business of running. Hi folks, you can have a seat on any of the benches you like. I have benches here and on the back wall.
Sorry. Come on.
Another half of these pies, number 12. In the middle, there is a table where the clerk keeps the minutes of what's happening in court. The plaintiff would stand directly in front of him. These benches are if we have a jury trial. And right over here, this table with the green cloth, that is your legal team. And so, if you folks were here in 1775, you wouldn't be surprised to find Patrick Henry sitting right there. There are benches all the way down to wherever you're comfortable sitting is A-OK with me. Just a wooden has such prosperity that so many people do not. Therefore, they feel it is their obligation to serve the community.
Second building, the chair I zoomed in on, that is the only surviving relic of the original building that went up in flames in the 1700s.
I don't know where else they'd be.
Look at that tiny house. There's a lot of tiny houses around here.
Have a short introduction to Mr. Randolph and the property, and it's about the 27 enslaved African Virginians that lived in Woodview.
I think they would cook food there. And, yeah, a lot of pots. There goes our carriage, but I wrote in earlier.
So every time.
How you feel being on YouTube? How you do? Oh, don't go away. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
You know, the guy on the carriage told us that the Randolph house was actually the most haunted building in Williamsburg. It certainly shows the dark colors. This is going to be the end of part 1 of our trip to Virginia. Part 2 will come out, and that'll be us visiting Jamestown. See you then.